how did you go about we were talking before about like the length of time it takes you to write novels. And so how do you go about like having a novel that asks and answers big questions while also keeping that like keeping people guessing and the edge of their seat type of situation? Like what came first for you as the writer when you were putting this all together?
Yeah, so what definitely came together first for me were the ideas
Hmm.
I had before I even started, and also the characters, this family. I
Yeah.
love this family. I've written short stories about them. Going back, like I think I started writing about this family 13 years ago. And when I first started writing creative fiction when I was in my 40s. And so this family has been with me for a long time. This voice, which is Mia, the 20-year-old kind of hyper analytical, snarky college
Hmm.
student who's very intellectual. Her voice has been with me for a very, very long time.
Hmm.
And so the family has been with me, and I knew that I wanted to write something about this happiness quotient idea that I'd been playing around with for a long time. And so I had sort of this Venn diagram of like, I want to interrogate a concept of happiness and on the one hand, and and then I had another circle that was oral fluency, what
Right.
are those two passions that I talked about.
Yeah.
And they're going to merge together. And then I thought, okay, what is a good container for all of these stories that I have about this family that I want to tell that
Hmm.
explore these concepts? And my first novel was a literary courtroom drama that had murder mystery types of,
Hmm.
who done it, how done it, why done it kind of thing too.
Yeah.
And I think I'm drawn to that because I like I'm not the most patient person. And so I like when I get hooked into something,
Yeah.
like on page one, and then I will have a lot of patience and go through a lot of asides and tangents once I have that question that needs to be answered in my mind.
Mm.
And as a writer too. So having a mystery at the core where this character that I really love, the father, goes missing, and these other characters, the other members of the family, are distraught and not knowing what's going on. And I, as a writer, didn't know what happened to the father. And so
Mm.
I knew that the only way that I could figure out what happened to the father and find out is by getting my butt in this writing chair and, going into my writing closet every day and actually writing. And so it was like an incentive for me as a writer.
Hmm.
And also, I do like the idea that you have some urgent question that needs to be answered, and that's the through line for the story.
Hmm.
Because I feel like when you have that as a container for the stories that you want to tell, I think it gives you, or at least I hope this is true, that the readers have a little more grace and patience for some of the tangents and some of the asides that you might be like, why am I hearing this story about these characters when they were like 5 years old in
Hmm.
Korea running around doing a Vulcan mind meld with each other?
Yeah.
Well, like it does tie in at some
Hmm.
point. And so if I tried to tell that as just Lynch short stories, I'm not sure that it would capture as much of a wide audience. And I guess putting it in the framework of a missing person type of story, I think gave me a little bit of more of a latitude to do
Hmm.
that and to do crazy things like put really, really tangential asides and footnotes and things like that.
Yeah.
So I tried, yeah. So I tried to have this Venn diagram of like three circle Venn diagram with the missing person mystery on top, and and then where they intersect in the middle is sort of
Mhm.
hopefully the ending, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Um,